Have you ever noticed how our senses play a big part in the ways we experience life? Each one unique in its ability to absorb information. For instance, sight. Our eyes allow us to take in beautiful colors, interesting shapes, and all sorts of dimensions and perspectives near and far. Then we have our ears, which allows us to hear and make distinctions from noise. We can notice all kinds of sounds, like birds chirping, or the crunching of leaves beneath our feet. One of my favorite sounds is the flowing of water that comes from a babbling creek. And of course, we have the sense of touch. With this, we're able to feel a cool breeze on a hot day, or the warmth of the sun on a cold day, a soothing bath for aching muscles. With our nose, we're able to experience the sense of smell, like a steaming cup of morning coffee, or a freshly baked pie right out of the oven. Perhaps a fragrant rose growing in the garden. And last but not least, we have the sense of taste. With this sense, we're able to experience a variety of flavors. There are sweet things like strawberry ice cream, and tart things like lemons and oranges, and salty like pizza sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Think about all our different senses, each one with their own separate qualities, but joining together to form one unique experience. For instance, imagine eating toasted marshmallows with chocolate and graham crackers. This is a great experience, but it could be even greater. Here's what I mean. Imagine you are tasting this delicious treat while sitting by a fire. You see the glow. You hear the crackling. You feel the warmth. And you smell the fragrance of wood burning. All this while biting into your marshmallow dessert. Your senses joining together have turned this venture into a moment you won't soon forget. This is because our senses bring dimension and depth to our experiences. Without us realizing it, sometimes they help us to be fully present. This is God's design. He designed us as humans to take in with our senses all the world around us. But God has not just given us physical senses. He also designed us with spiritual ones, which are of even greater value. In fact, our physical senses are meant to be the temporary shadow of the spiritual ones, which are eternal. These senses are awakened at the time of our spiritual birth. And just as our physical senses can be cultivated as we grow physically, so these, our spiritual senses, can be cultivated as we grow spiritually. It's the process of God moving us beyond black ink and paper into His Word in a way that comes alive to the soul. There's so much more than head knowledge. The Bible is meant to awaken our senses to a spiritual kingdom that is thriving all around us. If we let Him, He will lead us into even greater levels of understanding into how this all works. But often that means slowing down. We slow down to explore depth. It's for this reason our study is divided into bite-sized portions. For instance, one chapter will have 2 or 3 parts. This helps us to experience and savor rather than just intellectually study it on the surface. As we cultivate this reality in our minds, we find a natural mending process take place in our thinking, one that's spiritually organic in nature. For instance, insecurity becomes overshadowed by the growing perception of God's full acceptance. The inward cries of not being enough is silenced by affirmations of spiritual purpose, which rings louder. The gripping effects of rejection begin to lift as we drink from the well of God's love and taste the unconditional qualities of it. The journey is healing. This is what Blue Skies is all about. Our verse of focus for the entire study is Philippians 4:8. Think on these things. Each phrase a path, scenic and lush to the spiritual senses. Whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is worthy of praise. All these paths belong to us, so get ready, because we're about to embark into the sacred territory of God's rescue for the mind.